Hello, and welcome to Great Sleep. Get ready to listen and relax. Tonight I'll tell you a quiet bedtime story about a cozy afternoon in a tea shop. Samuel Thompson stood at the window of his cramped office, his gaze fixed on the flurry of snowflakes dancing in the air outside. It was the middle of winter, and the world seemed to be wrapped in a frosty embrace. Samuel yearned for moments of peace and connection amidst the chaos of his busy life as a salesman. His days were filled with endless meetings, phone calls, and rushing from one client to another. The constant noise and demands left him feeling drained and disconnected from the world around him. He longed for a respite, a place where he could find solace and reconnect with his own thoughts. As he watched the snowflakes fall, Samuel couldn't help but feel a sense of longing for a simpler time. He remembered his childhood winters, when he would spend hours playing in the snow, building snowmen, and having snowball fights with his friends. Those moments of joy and connection felt like a distant memory now, buried beneath the weight of adulthood responsibilities. The city streets below were bustling with people hurrying to their destinations, their faces hidden beneath scarves and hats. The sound of car horns and chatter filled the air, drowning out the gentle whispers of nature. Samuel yearned for a moment of stillness, a chance to escape the cacophony of the outside world. One cold afternoon, as Samuel walked through the bustling streets, he stumbled upon a quaint little tea shop nestled between two towering buildings. The sign above the door read Serenity Tea, and something about it drew him in. The warm glow emanating from within beckoned him like a lighthouse in a storm. Curiosity piqued, Samuel pushed open the door and stepped inside. The moment he crossed the threshold, he was enveloped in a sense of tranquility. The air was infused with the aroma of various teas, mingling with the soft melodies playing in the background. The interior was adorned with cozy armchairs, bookshelves filled with novels and poetry collections, and delicate teacups displayed on wooden shelves. Samuel felt an immediate sense of calm wash over him as he took in the sight before him. The tea shop seemed like a sanctuary, a haven from the chaos of the outside world. As Samuel stood there, taking in the sight before him, a kind-faced woman approached him. She introduced herself as Mrs. Jenkins, the owner of Serenity Tea. Her eyes sparkled with warmth and wisdom as she spoke. "Welcome to Serenity Tea," Mrs. Jenkins said, her voice gentle and soothing. "I can see that you've been drawn in by the magic of this place." Samuel nodded, a smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "There's something about this place that feels different," he replied. "It's like stepping into a world where time slows down and worries fade away." Mrs. Jenkins smiled knowingly. "Tea has that effect on people," she said. It's not just a beverage, it's a gateway to moments of peace and connection. Each cup holds a story waiting to be discovered. Intrigued by Mrs. Jenkins' words, Samuel decided to explore the world of tea that she spoke of. He asked her for a recommendation, eager to experience the magic for himself. Mrs. Jenkins studied him for a moment, her eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and understanding. "I think I have just the tea for you," she said, her voice tinged with excitement. She disappeared into the back room, returning moments later with a small tin in her hand. "This is our Winter's Call blend," Mrs. Jenkins explained, handing the tin to Samuel. "It's a delicate combination of chamomile, lavender, and rose petals. It's designed to bring about a sense of tranquility and help you reconnect with your inner self." Samuel took the tin in his hands, marveling at its simple beauty. He could already imagine the flavors and aromas that awaited him. With a nod of gratitude, he thanked Mrs. Jenkins and made his way to a cozy armchair in the corner of the tea shop. With Mrs. Jenkins' guidance, Samuel carefully selected a blend known for its calming properties. It was a delicate blend of chamomile, lavender, and rose petals, designed to soothe the senses and bring about a sense of tranquility. As Mrs. Jenkins prepared the tea, Samuel found a comfortable armchair in a secluded corner of the tea shop. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, allowing the aroma of the tea to fill his senses. The gentle warmth of the cup in his hands brought a sense of comfort, like a hug from an old friend. Samuel took a sip and felt the chaos of the outside world melt away. The flavors danced on his tongue, each sip bringing him closer to a state of inner stillness. As he continued to drink, he felt a sense of peace wash over him, as if the worries and stresses of his daily life were being gently carried away by the steam rising from his cup. He opened his eyes and looked around the tea shop. The soft lighting and cozy atmosphere created a sense of intimacy, as if you were in his own personal sanctuary. Other customers sat at nearby tables, engaged in quiet conversations or lost in their own thoughts. Samuel realized that he was not alone in seeking solace in this little tea shop. Serene Tea had become a refuge for others as well, a place where people could find respite from the chaos of the outside world. As Samuel savored his tea, he couldn't help but notice the conversations brewing around him. The tea shop seemed to be a meeting place for people from all walks of life, each seeking their own moments of solace and connection. He struck up conversations with various customers, each with their own unique personalities and preferences. There was Emily, a young artist seeking inspiration, who confided in Samuel about her creative block. He recommended a calming chamomile tea to help her relax and clear her mind. Then there was James, a weary traveler who had just returned from a long journey. Samuel listened intently as James shared stories of the places he had visited, the people he had met, and the lessons he had learned along the way. They bonded over a cup of exotic oolong tea, their conversation flowing like a river of shared experiences. Samuel marveled at the connections that were being forged in this small tea shop. It was as if the tea itself had the power to break down barriers and create a sense of camaraderie among strangers. Serene Tea had become a place where people could come together, share their stories, and find comfort in the company of others. One day, as Samuel sat by the window, lost in thought, an elderly man named Mr. Peterson took the seat next to him. Mr. Peterson had a twinkle in his eye and an air of adventure about him. It turned out he visited Serene Tea every day to reminisce about his travels. Over a strong black tea, Samuel and Mr. Peterson shared stories of far-off lands and hidden treasures. They laughed at mishaps and marveled at the beauty of the world. In that moment, age and time seemed to dissolve, leaving only the shared joy of memories. Samuel was captivated by Mr. Peterson's tales of adventure and felt a renewed sense of wonder. He realized that life was meant to be lived fully, with open hearts and curious minds. Serene Tea had become a place where people could gather not only to find solace, but also to share their stories and inspire one another. Amongst the regular customers, Samuel noticed a reserved woman named Sarah. She always sat alone, lost in her thoughts, her eyes filled with a hint of sadness. Intrigued, Samuel struck up a conversation with her one day. As they sipped their teas, Samuel discovered that Sarah had recently lost her job. She shared her fears and uncertainties, her worries about the future. Samuel listened attentively, offering words of comfort and understanding. In that quiet corner of the tea shop, Sarah found solace in their conversation and gained a new perspective on her situation. Samuel encouraged Sarah to view her current situation as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. He shared stories of his own struggles and how they had led him to unexpected paths of success. Sarah's eyes sparkled with hope as she realized that even in the midst of uncertainty, there were possibilities waiting to be explored. In the days that followed, Samuel made it a point to offer Sarah a comforting cup of herbal tea whenever she visited Serene Tea. They would sit together in their secluded corner, sharing stories and dreams. The tea became a source of comfort for both of them, a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there were moments of peace to be found. Sarah's confidence grew with each passing day, and she began exploring new career opportunities. Samuel became her sounding board, offering guidance and support as she navigated the uncertain waters of job hunting. The tea shop had become a sanctuary not only for Samuel but also for Sarah, a place where they could find solace and strength in each other's company. One afternoon, as Samuel sat engrossed in a book, a heated argument broke out between two customers across the room. John and Lisa, both passionate about their beliefs, clashed over a misunderstanding. The tension in the air was palpable, threatening to shatter the peaceful ambience of Serenity. Samuel looked up from his book, his brow furrowed with concern. He couldn't bear to see the harmony of the tea shop disrupted by conflict. Determined to find a resolution, he calmly rose from his seat and approached John and Lisa. Sensing the growing tension, Samuel calmly approached John and Lisa. He listened to each of them, encouraging them to see beyond their differences and understand each other's perspectives. Slowly but surely, their anger began to dissipate, replaced by empathy and understanding. John and Lisa eventually reconciled, apologizing to each other for their harsh words. The conflict had been diffused, and the bond between the tea shop's customers grew stronger. Samuel's role in resolving the disagreement solidified his place as a trusted confidant and mediator. As the day drew to a close, Samuel found himself reflecting on the connections he had made at Serenity. The tea shop had become more than just a place to find solace. It had become a haven of shared experiences and understanding. He realized that in the midst of chaos, there were places and experiences that could bring people together, offering moments of peace and connection. Serenity had become that place for Samuel and many others, a sanctuary in the heart of the bustling city. From that day forward, Samuel became a regular customer at Serenity. He continued to find solace and connection within its walls, sharing conversations and cups of tea with old friends and new acquaintances alike. As he sat in his favorite armchair, enjoying a cup of tea, Samuel observed the interactions around him. The laughter, the whispered conversations, and the occasional comforting touch between strangers spoke volumes about the power of tea to bring people together. In that moment, Samuel realized that the simple joys of life were often found in the quiet corners, in the warmth of shared experiences. Serenity had become his refuge, his winter's brew forever. And as he watched the snowflakes fall outside the window, he knew that no matter how chaotic life became, he would always find solace in the embrace of Serenity.